Yeah, it's keeping it simple, man. It's getting back to basics. It's being raw. I'd be like, you can have the best business plan in the year, but without passion and without drive, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
It just isn't.
Yeah.
Right? You realize how important it really is.
It's
I've had
everything.
that sometimes where I can see that passion's great because you're excited and you're into it and it's fun.
Yeah.
But passion really, I think, in my experience, comes into play when times are hard. Because if you don't have passion, you won't fight. You won't keep fighting to get through it all. And you have to do that in business. You have to do that.
Yeah, totally.
There's no such thing as a smooth ride.
Yeah.
It just doesn't exist.
Yeah, it doesn't. But if you're passionate,
I mean, that sounded pretty smooth to me where like these people just start kind of coming out the door. But there was a lot that went before that.
Well, I felt like I got myself aligned towards what I love. And once it's kind of like, once you're true to yourself, I think, the world starts conspiring with you, right? And so much has happened in the last 10
you started
years.
getting more lucky, right?
Yeah, I mean, and maybe that's an outside perspective, but like, I was through that. Another side benefit of this is like the foundation and the kids that are involved in this foundation and the people I've met have transformed me maybe more so than the Necker Cup. I mean, these kids out in Vegas and Atlanta, South Atlanta here, especially the kids in Vegas. I mean, these are kids that have come back from suicide and addictions and broken homes, and they've changed through meditation and mindfulness their lives, and now some of them are going on to like Stanford. And these kids, like when you get with them, like they'll call you out like on flaws in your personality, and like, hey Rem, like I just wanted to call you out on something, like did you like
wow.
You need time to level up. If you're trying to be a leader, you got to. I mean, these are like kids that are in their early 20s and that have, but in
to me that means they really care about you and they want to see.
They love me, man.
Yeah.
They love me, and they, that's the other thing. Like I've realized that it's not about, like so many of my clients are all about acquiring wealth. Like the foundation's all about just giving. Giving yourself to serving other people, and that's like a switch, right? Like you can do both, but you're leaning one way or the other. You either like what's in it for me, or like what can I do for this person, and that's a shift that's occurred in me, and like I've gone through another transition in the last 2 years, I think, where I've gone from kind of being I'd say mindless, not self-centered, but self-oriented individual to a person that's actually saying, hey, like, passion's great, living a great life is great, but like, do you want to live your best life? And if you want to live your best life, you really have to be in a position to serve others, right, and to give to others. And that's a very simple equation that eluded me. You got to be over 50 to even be positioned to solve that riddle.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because wisdom, I mean, you can't rush wisdom. Bring what comes with it. It's just part of it, right?
Yeah.
But you have to be in a position to be able to do it at that point in time, right? So that's not easy either.
Yeah.
But I think you have. I've always told my boys as they're growing up, like, spend more time finding out who you are and what your gifts are and your weaknesses than you think you should.
Yeah, totally.
Because the faster you figure that out, the more fulfilling you're going to have in life and the more effective of a person you're going to be.
Yeah.
Right? Like God calls us to use our gifts to produce fruit in the world, right?
Yeah,
and so the faster you figure it, it's a journey.
It's a journey,
and you got to figure you can't figure that out without trying things, without going on adventures, without failing a lot.
Fail forward.
Yeah. Seeing what's going on with you. I mean, one of my sons has a form of dyslexia.
Okay.
And he was really down about it.
Yeah. Well.
And I couldn't relate necessarily because I didn't have it, and I was more mature. So it's hard to. I was thinking when I was that age, I probably would have been down about it. But I said, here's the deal. You made it way past where most people it shows up.
Yeah.
Like you figured out ways to make it work way past where you should have.
Yeah.
That's a skill. You got to pay attention to that.
Yeah.
Okay? That's a gift.
Yeah.
Right? And here's what we got to do. Just understand it. Accept it. Know and don't let it get in the way of your goals. That's it, man. Yeah. It's denial. It's like being an excuse. Because I have my things too. just face it head on, understand it, understand how it could hurt you,
Yeah.
and don't put yourself in a position to let it, get in your way.
It's tough because I see these kids that are dyslexic and what they have to go through, and then I see the parents that are not dyslexic, and I see they have an equally challenging struggle because they have no grounds or no basis or perspective, on raising a dyslexic child, and most of them like try and force them into the box, like I did. I got forced. Maybe my parents love me, but they're like, Rem, like you got to get on the path. You got to do this. You got to why aren't you, and so, whereas what I would say to somebody, because a dyslexic kid, they have schools now, I think, that I would say, help a lot of kids, cope and develop tactics to survive dyslexia. But at the core, like dyslexic, and there's some incredible, brilliant dyslexics out there. But what I would say is that those individuals, like they had parents or they had the will to identify that one thing in their life that they love and they're passionate about, and they just relentlessly went after it. And the parents realized that that's going to be a much better path, even if it's something that they don't support, like playing guitar or art or something that's foreign.
Right.
That kid's going to be happier and more successful in life if they can go out and go off that road, and primarily pursue that path.
Yeah, and you don't always necessarily know what's holding you back or what's wrong, but it's going to be fun to find out what it is, right? And we will find out, because we're not going to give up.
Yeah, well, he already knows. Like I was saying before, like I think when you're a kid, you may not manifest itself in like, oh, I'm a great chess player, but there may be certain traits.
Which doesn't pay very well, but
there may be certain traits. There may be certain traits in him. Like, for example, my son Spencer has this geography brilliance. Like he was not a very good student, but every year he'd win the geography bee in his school. It's like, okay, what's going on here? There's something there. I don't know how to monetize it, but there's some gift there that has to be uncovered. I don't know what it is. He doesn't know what it is, but he just does geography well.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, I mean, I think if you're good at a variety of things and a variety of interests, it can actually hurt you because it takes longer to figure out what you should be doing. Yeah. You're like, oh, I got straight A's in college. Well, how did you know what you were good at?
Yeah.
Like, I get that, but you just achieve everything. Is that like which classes you actually like, or do you just like you have to get A's no matter what? You just pull all-nighters, like.
Yeah. No, we talked about
but when you have
dyslexia. So
when you have that, I think I think CEOs, right? I think like in a survey of CEOs, like something like 20% of them have dyslexia
or ADD,
like high power, And so I was talking to my son about that, and he said, "So what does that mean? Dyslexia makes you a CEO?" I'm like, maybe in checkers intelligent, no. But why would people that overcame dyslexia be more successful than other people? That's what it means. Find out why that is. And know that you can overcome it because people have shown that you can.
Yeah.
Right? And what they've shown is it can actually become an advantage if you look at it the right way.
So just, to that, so I told you about, I'll pick up my prop now. So this guitar here.
This is like an Adam Sandler dyslexia song? Or, okay.
No. Well, first I'm going to share the guitar. So this is a guitar that I had brought to the Necker Cup. So I have Jewel here, Sean Paul, Sam Branson, Richard Branson, Gavin Rossdale, and then my friend Crazy Joe, who's not a very good musician, said he wanted to sign it, and so he signed it there.
Cool.
But I guess what the point I was going to say is that so when I took that class, that music theory class, right, as a dyslexic, and went in and failed it, right, in front of the class, and I wasn't into music at the time, right? But
did you just want to try something that was outside of the academic?
I think I wanted to be a rock star. That's what the attraction was.
Oh, yeah,
the guitar looked so cool, and I've got nothing going on in my life. That was what the motivation was.
Well, back in the 80s, that's.
But the thing is that to this day, if you ask me hey Rem, can you play, like, I don't know anybody else's music. I don't.
Yeah.
All I do is write my own music.
Right here.
Like, I'm just making this up right now. You know, I can do, so anyway, I've kind of written a whole set of songs, like, that are just my own music, and it's all I know how to do is write my own music, right, and my own songs, but like, that is it's such a contrast to, like, failing out of music theory class. And so that's the thing about dyslexia, is like, wow, okay, so there, even if you fail music, you can still be creative and create stuff, right? Without music theory. And that's kind of like dyslexia in a nutshell. It's like finding that little oyster, that kind of, and you may have to navigate, cope around things, So
Yeah, and if you love something, I think it's easy to get discouraged where you try something, but it's in the wrong area or it's in the wrong arena. Like if Tom Brady got drafted by the Cleveland Browns, who knows what would have happened, right?
Yeah.
We don't really know. He
Yeah.
wasn't a starter to start off. So he got in the right place. But it's like music theory, but like playing music, I had friends like that they couldn't read music or whatever, but man, they could play. They could just they could hear it, and the dyslexia didn't affect them. It was like, man, that is really good. Like I don't even understand how your mind works. Like that's such an intelligence I can't get, but beautiful.